Today's Tuesday Talks question is, what is your favourite genre and why? So let's do this. Hi everybody, it's Lydia here. So for those of you who don't know, Tuesday Talks is a group based on Goodreads where every single Tuesday there is a question posted and you have to answer that question in a video or a blog or whatever form you feel like answering it in. I will link that group in the description below. It's a really awesome idea and group, and obviously it's kind of a similar structure to Top 5 Wednesdays, and I know a lot of people do that, and it's just a really awesome thing, so I really recommend checking it out if you haven't. Today's question is, what is your favourite genre and why? It won't come as much of a surprise to you all to hear that my favourite genre is fantasy. It always has been, it always will be. I read for escapism, and for me fantasy is the best form of escapism. There are no rules, there are no limits, you can do pretty much anything you want to, and that means that every fantasy book, you just don't know what to expect when you pick it up. At the moment there's also lots of discussion around representation in books and diversity in books, and I feel like fantasy is a genre which should, I'm not necessarily saying it is, but I feel like it is a genre which should be leading the way as far as that is concerned in fiction, because there are no rules. It's not as if you're writing about a specific period in history and you're writing about real people or anything like that. You're baking it up as you go along basically, and so you can have as much diversity in there as is absolutely possible, and I feel like there should be more diversity in fantasy. I don't know whether there is. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, but that is definitely one of the reasons why I do love fantasy. I also love it because of the world building. I am one of those people who loves description in books. I know a lot of people don't like fantasy in general because it can often be overwhelmed by description, but for me that is what makes fantasy amazing. I love to be able to completely imagine every single detail in a world when I'm reading about it. Obviously my favourite fantasy book is The Lord of the Rings, and God knows Tolkien loved his description. I also feel it kind of said something that the biggest sort of book fandoms in a way are the fantasy book fandoms. I think it just lends itself to fandom, and it allows for all sorts of different interpretations, different questions. People can dress up, and whole communities are created out of fantasy books. Not saying that isn't the case with other books, but I feel like it happens more in fantasy, and I kind of love that about modern day reading and modern day fandoms and book fandoms, because I think it's just really nice that this whole community has formed around a book and everyone has like a similar interest in that fandom. I just think it's really nice. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I will see you again soon, but until then, bye!